Hello and welcome to this introductory video of the Nemesis Platform. This video is part of a 5-minute series videos in which I will discuss how to set up the Nemesis Platform, what it is, what are the main features, and etc. etc. So if you want to use the platform, first thing you have to do is you have to go to this website called start.nemesis.io and you have to fill in some project metadata for your project. In my case, I want to use group ID, my company, and my artifact ID is going to be my project, the version of the project, the name of the project, of course, my project. The package name is pre-populated, and I have to select the version of the Nemesis platform I want to use. In my case, I'm going to use the build snapshot, the latest snapshot. Now, on top of that, a command line is generated which you can copy and paste, but before you do that you have to select the type of project that you want to build. So the Nemesis platform actually is an application development platform which allows you to build different types of applications. So they're all here listed on the right and on the left side. So in my case, I want to build one B2C website, let's say one telco website for telco commerce, let's say one B2B, and finally one CMS. But you can play around with it, you can choose different variations, whatever you want. So when you're done, copy the command and paste it in your command line. And after a second or two, a project should be generated. Well, the Maven archetype is going to be downloaded from our Maven repository, and a project should be generated in a folder called my project. So inside the folder, you will see Maven build scripts, and you will see a source folder. So the first thing we have to do is we're going to have to build the project. I'm going to use Maven clean package command. Like I said, the archetype is downloaded from our repository, and unless you have username and a password, at this point of the generation of the project, you might experience a failure. So in this case, please contact us. We'll provide you with a username and a password for our Maven repository so you can play around and play around with the platform. So now that the project is being built, the next step actually to do to continue is let's create a MySQL database. So I'm going to log into MySQL and I'm going to have to create a database with the name of the project. So in this case, it's my project, and the database already exists. So what I can do is I can drop the database my project, and then recreate it again. Okay, so the project has been built, 46 seconds. Next thing I have to do is I'm going to have to initialize the schema, because I want to have SQL files so that I can pre-populate the database with. And let's quickly look inside what's inside my project folder. src main resources, and in a second a DB folder will be created here. There it is, a DB folder migration. And depending on the types of drivers to different databases I have on the class path, in my case I have 4 different database drivers, one for H2 database, one for MySQL, one for Oracle, and one for Postgre. The platform is smart enough to create different SQLs for each of the drivers that you have on your class path. You can see inside what's inside this SQL file. It's a pretty standard SQL file. It creates the tables, it's created a different schema, all the foreign keys and relations between the tables, etc. So now that we have this schema file, let's perform initialization. We have a Nemesis Maven plugin which you can use and call the initdb task, and of course we have to provide the profiles, the type of database we want to initialize, because right now we have, like I said, 4 different drivers to 4 different databases. So some parts of the development team might use Postgre, some other parts of the development team might use MySQL. So there it is. The initialization process is a process that consists of several steps. Now the first step is to migrate the current schema of the project to version 1.0. which is this SQL file, which corresponds to the POM version of your project. Once this SQL file is applied on top of the database that we just created, then we perform a set of operations we call different jobs that import CSV files, and these CSV files contain sample data such as demo users, demo orders, demo CMS items, widgets, etc. There it is. You can see that all CMS are being imported. I think we have at this point, you guys select 4 different, I must have selected 4 different websites, so we should have around 60 different CSV files. So the CSV files are located in src main resources metainf import data, and for all the different website types that you should have selected here, you should have different folder with different CSV files for that. They're ordered by the number prefix that you see in front of each one, and they're executed sequentially. So after they have been imported, then we perform synchronization. The synchronization is a process that copies everything from a staged or offline catalog version into an online catalog version. You see, the CSVs themselves, they import data into a catalog version that is called staged. Now the synchronization copies this data from the staged catalog version into the online catalog version. So we always maintain 2 different catalog versions, one for what the visitors to your website, what they're seeing, and the other ones so you can experiment and make changes and preview the changes before you publish them or synchronize them so that visitors can see them. Okay, the initialization has been done successfully. Now it's time to start the project. Now the project itself is a Spring Boot project. So we started with a typical Maven Spring Boot command. And of course we have to specify the profile that we want to use, in this case the database that we have selected. And now we see an error that there's a license file is missing. So I'm quickly going to copy a license from one of our existing projects, and I'm going to paste it, and let's give it another try. This is a standard procedure that you do in the beginning of every project. So it shouldn't take more than 5 to 6 minutes to set up a website, initialize the database with sample data, such as demo, like I said, demo users, demo products, demo orders, and etc. And the website itself shouldn't take more than, I think, a minute or a minute and a half to start. So this is pretty much it. Let's wrap it up here, and I'll see you guys in the next